States. He didn't do it for any reward, but the question I ask is simply whether or not a citizen of any country who has risen to the level that Kwame has in protecting our nationals ought to be going hand and foot around this country wondering if he has the right to remain here and whether or not the government in its public interest should rise to the occasion as he did on that fateful day.
Now, it's a conflicting time for the INS, which has been exposed as being a bit of a political mess. Now it's under Homeland Security. Is that complicating things?
I penned a letter earlier today to President Bush,
which I have here.
And I sent a courtesy copy to Governor Ridge, to Secretary Ridge, as well as now the new head of what is now the new Immigration Service, asking them to contact me. There are a myriad of visas that he would be eligible for as an outstanding player, as an international player, even as an extension of the investigation, or as a professional who has a degree in a business field. There are a host of things that the government can do. And again, unfortunately, the government has missed an opportunity to show people worldwide that if you rise to the occasion, we will not only send a strong message against terrorists, but we will protect those that come under our web. And the fact is, this missed opportunity of not keeping a word will be faithful in other areas. Why would other people want to come forward? Most people would look at this as an opportunity to shy away. Well, what if Kwame did shy away and that sulfur ended up igniting? What if this didn't happen? We're hearing now from scores of people, including pilots and all sorts of other people, that are just astonished that this gentleman was not taken care of by our government. And we hope that they'll rise to the occasion.
Kwame, what would you love to have happen?
Just be allowed to work generically at just, if I want to work at a McDonald's or a wait table just to stay in shape for basketball, just be allowed to do that.
And you'd like to get a chance to try out for a team too, wouldn't you?
Yes, yes.
And what's the status of that right now?
I'll possibly have a prospective deal with a USBL team here in New York, the Brooklyn Kings, and hopefully that works out for me. But that'll just be a temporary solution. You know, when the season's over with them, I'll probably be back in the same position I am now.
Now, don't you think, Michael, I mean, you've worked for the government, haven't you?
I was a federal prosecutor.
Isn't this one of those no-brainer things that if it ever got to the desk of the president, he'd go, fix this?
You know, I represented in the wake of the World Trade Center attacks. Before the attacks, I represented diplomats that defected and the government turned its back because of the political implications in Saudi Arabia and other regions. And in the wake of the attacks, I represented a score of spouses whose husbands and wives perished in the attack, only to find themselves in immigration peril. So effectively, their children will have lost one parent in the World Trade Center attack and another one to a bureaucracy.
So the INS would literally take away a parent of two children who already lost a parent in the World Trade Center?
It happens. It happened. We cured it.
Are you winning these cases?
We won all of those cases. It's our belief that this case will be cured in kind. And the fact is, what you have to do is turn on the lights of the camera sometimes, and the lights of a mirror where the government gets a snapshot of itself and begins to reflect on exactly what it is that it's doing. And you know, what speaks largely to this is the approvals that one of those 19 hijackers received, that the Immigration Service has a system in place to give an approval to a dead hijacker, but to let a gentleman who's a hero wander about without that kind of confidence.
Maybe out there's someone who'd like to help Kwame James. Maybe there's someone who'd like to fax or call or email or do something. What should they do?
Send an email to my computer, mwilds, that's MWILDES, at wwgw.com. WWGW is an acronym for our law firm, where we practice immigration law exclusively in Manhattan. This is an opportunity for America to not only present what options and thoughts they have, but for us to avail ourselves and send a message to the White House.
Kwame, can you play?
Yeah, I can play a little bit. Back to it gets a little bit serious when we start talking about all the serious stuff, and then basketball is almost two different worlds. You know, basketball is almost my escape now these days, just to get away from, you know, all this Richard Reed stuff.
All right, stick around. We have someone who wants to talk to you, a special visitor here at the Garden. Stick around for just another couple of minutes. We'll take a break on Angles. We're talking to Kwame James, an American hero trying to stay in America. We're back on Angles. Michael Wilds is Kwame James' attorney. Kwame James was a hero, saving American Flight 63 from a bomb exploding underneath the shoe bomber Richard Reed. This is Kenny Charles. He's the general manager and coach of the Brooklyn Kings of the USBL, and you have something you'd like to say to him.
Well, Kwame, the Brooklyn Kings would like to offer you a contract to play with us this year. You don't have to try out. It's guaranteed, and we want you here.
Okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Definitely.
You psyched?
Yeah, first set of good news I've had in a long time.
Glad to be the one to deliver it.
Now, Kenny, are you doing this as an American gesture of thanks, or are you doing this because you know he can play? And if you know that, how do you know that?
Well, I picked up the phone and got some talk. People talk to me about Kwame. Number one, I'm doing it because I'm an American. Number two, and he was born in Trinidad. I was born in Trinidad. So there's all kinds of connections with us, and I think he'll help us. I need a big forward, so.
Let's find out what your attorney has to say about this. He said he didn't like surprises, and this is one. Michael, what do you think?
I can't play ball, so the only thing I could do is say thank you for dribbling in our court. And obviously this is a slam dunk. If they are going to sponsor this young man for a visa to remain in the United States, that is very helpful.
And yet it doesn't remove you from ultimately getting him a chance to stay here for good.
No, this is but a Band-Aid on an open wound. If whatever period of time he's actually playing with their league, he would be covered by a visa that they would presumably put forward to the government. But if that time is only a month, 2 months, then we're back exactly where we are thereafter. There are things that can run concurrent with this offer. We could have other visas and categories and things. So I would suggest that your viewers still send in their suggestions, because we don't know how long the contract will last and what's going to happen thereafter. How long are these?
The season is over June 21st. It begins April 21st, and he'll be with us at least that long.
Right, so June 22nd, we're back exactly where we started. With all said, thank you for your wonderful
Between now and then, I'm sure playing in Brooklyn, playing in New York, some things will come up. This is a great city to ask for help in.
Excellent.
Well, this is a feel-good moment. Kwame, congratulations. Yeah. This is something you deserve. You deserve to have a chance in America.
Thanks for all the help. Thank you.
All right, Michael, thanks, and good luck to you, and certainly hope this works out. Kenny, that's awesome.
Hey, no problem.
I'll be coming to your games now.
Anytime.
All right, that's Kenny Charles, Kwame James, and Michael Wilds. We'll be back on